What's going on, team? Welcome back to episode number 46 of the AT Fit podcast. Hope we're all okay. Hope we're all having a great time, staying fit and healthy, and also staying upstairs as well. This is a topic that I've seen a few videos sort of on recently. I know Austin Maliolo's done one for the CrossFit community. Ross Edgley's touched upon it in his own sort of video and also on a podcast with Mark Bell. If you've not listened to that and interested in the strength world and even the strength and conditioning world, then I would highly recommend you go listen to that podcast. That was absolutely sick, and it's about how to train for nothing. Obviously, in this time, like we're in a little bit of limbo. We're not really too sure what's going to happen in the short term. In the long term, we know everything will be fine and dandy, and normality will restore itself, and we'll be okay. But in the short term, obviously, we've been dealt a shit hand and a bit of a curveball, and we're not really too sure what to do. So those things that we might have had planned, in a 2 weeks' time, 2 months' time, might have been cancelled, might have been postponed, and we don't really know what we're training for, and that's fine. That's absolutely fine. We've kind of been given this unique opportunity, and I did a little bit of a type in sort of essay sort of thing, article, if you want to call it that, on my Facebook page, maybe last week or the week before. But it's about we've been given this unique opportunity to work on our foundation, work on our foundation as athletes, work on our foundation as people, work on our foundation in a relationship, whatever it is. Obviously, we're going to relate this to training. So let me explain. Obviously, as an athlete, as someone that likes to participate in physical exercise, whether you consider yourself as an athlete or not, we all have a foundation. I'm sure you would have heard it at school. I heard it so many times it did stick, so I do appreciate all my teachers out there. Thank you very much. Would you rather build your foundation on the sand, or would you rather build your foundation on the rock? And it's quite simple, because if you bring your foundation on the sand, then obviously it's going to be unstable, a little bit shaky. You build it on the rock, it's going to have a little bit more of a stronger foundation. It goes to what Louis Simmons was saying, was the wider the base of your pyramid, obviously the stronger and the taller it's going to be. And in this time, obviously we've got all the time in the world to focus on that, and to really drill home our foundation. And our foundation can come in many forms. It can be from mobility, it can be from core work, it can be from aerobic capacity, it can be from all these different things. At the moment, for me, I've been focusing, obviously I've got no equipment at the moment, so I've been doing a lot of bodyweight exercises and a lot of core sort of training. I know I don't like to neglect things, but I'm a little bit lazy when it comes to core training in my own program, or when I train normally. I'm a bit lazy when it comes to that sort of stuff. So I've been really trying to drill home and get some reps under the belt. And then also with the bodyweight training, it's just teaching the body to deal with just like sheer volume. I've done nearly 2,500 pull-ups alone in a time in isolation, and it's just teaching the body to be okay with just this repetitive sort of motion and being able to deal with it. And that's what I've been sort of building my foundation off with, and also with, pushing a car and that, and bit of anaerobic stuff with some intervals and some sprints. But it's like I said, it's quite unique, and it kind of goes to what the old Soviets were doing when they were going through their strength and conditioning program for their athletes. What they used to do is have a little bit of a GPP sort of foundation period, where they would get them doing compound exercises, multi-joint exercises, run short, run long, swim, jump, bike, bear crawl, lift, and all these things, but being able to do everything. So it goes to that principle of widening the base and really trying to be able to adapt to everything, not be a specialist, be an adaptive human and be a little bit more robust. And then Ross Esley says it as well when he says about getting himself wintered, and it goes more into the stoic stuff. So if you want to, if you're interested in the stoicism, then I would suggest you go listen or follow more of his stuff, which is brilliant. And I really want to go read his new book as well, The Art of Resilience. Obviously, I'm not fucking paid to say that. I'm just saying, shout out to someone that puts out some really incredible stuff. So, yeah, he mentions about being wintered and the time at the beginning of your training cycle is really the foundation and the base, and where you put in the sheer amount of miles, quote unquote, whether that's be literal and you're a pavement pounder and a runner, or a cyclist, obviously, or you're just doing a sheer amount of volume and the reps and sets if you're a powerlifter, strength athlete, or anything like that, weightlifter, crossfitter. It's where you really build that base and really create some sort of foundation for us to then build upon when we get a little bit more specific, when you start going into the higher percentages, when you start going into more of the anaerobic sort of threshold, lactate sort of threshold interval sort of stuff, and that's when it starts getting tasty. That's when you start feeling like your lungs are on fire. So obviously that's talking about the foundation and having the time to work on the foundation. But it takes a lot of effort to do that if you're not really into this scene, into the health and fitness. And to be honest, even if you are, it still takes quite a lot of willpower and motivation to be able to do that. And that, to me, is just a clash of intrinsic versus extrinsic motivation. And let me explain. So extrinsic is something that is out of your not out of your control, but it's something that you do it for a prize, or you do it for external praise, you do it because someone's watching and you want their positive affirmation towards you, and that's extrinsic. So it's coming from external sources. Intrinsic is the state of accomplishment inside you. So the gym's closed, you're in it alone at night, you PR, you don't video it, you don't tell anyone. Are you satisfied? If the answer is no, you're probably a little bit more extrinsically motivated. If the answer is yes, then you probably are a little bit more intrinsically motivated. And let me just clarify that there is no right or wrong answer here. It is a little bit easier if you are intrinsically motivated, definitely at this time, because there's not too many things that is going to come to you. There's not something in the near future. There's not a wedding you're going to get, ready for and get a sort of obviously pictures. There's not a photo shoot for those bodybuilders. There's not a competition in the near future for those strength or CrossFit athletes. It's difficult, so you need to be able to take the small wins wherever you can. Obviously, if you are extrinsically motivated and you do like that external source, then create little rewards for yourself. I joke about it all the time, but for bitch work, obviously, when you do it, you drink chocolate milk at the end of it, and that chocolate milk has got me through some really shit workouts in the past, and I'm sure it will do the same this Thursday. So that's just a simple little funny thing. Alex, you do this workout, you get to drink chocolate milk, and I don't know, like creating those little rewards can make you do those things that you don't necessarily want to do, but necessarily should do, if you know what I mean. A little point that I was thinking about actually yesterday is through social media, through everything being connected, everything being online, everything being accessible, and everything being documented, I do believe that the growth of social media has caused the growth of external motivation or extrinsic motivation. Because, you know, people are chasing likes, people are chasing follows, and people are chasing all that sort of shit, which is good and bad, of course. I'm not here to tell you it's good. I'm not here to tell you it's bad. All I'm trying to say is during this time when in the mind there is nothing to be prepared for, there is everything to be prepared for. It's basically whether you see your glass as half empty or half full. You know, you're pessimistic or you're optimistic. There is nothing in the headlights. There's no deer in the headlights. There is nothing in the short-term future, but that means there is also everything in the long-term future. So if you can keep yourself prepared, if you can keep building that base and keep extending the diameter of that base, then when you do find something to prepare for, you're going to be in such better position to then build upon. All right, that obviously makes a lot more sense to those athletes that want to go and compete, you know, whether that is, you know, in bodybuilding or whether that is in an actual performance sport. It doesn't really matter. But those people that are into health and fitness, you know, just sort of train to be healthy and not really want to do any performing, not really want to do any competition or anything like that, that is absolutely grand. I take my hat off to you. And to be honest with you, I would say you're in a better boat than those people that want to perform and want to compete, because competitors are always, they're used to always having something in their sight and always competing all the time. And when they don't, most of the time they fall off. And those extrinsically motivated people end up falling off. So it's being able to sort of look at yourself deep down. Look at yourself deep down and go, okay, what do you want to achieve? What do you want for you? Not for your missus or your mister, not for anything else, not for likes, not for anything. What do you want for you? Do you want to be able to do your first pull-up? Do you want to be able to do your first push-up? Do you want to be able to run a mile? Do you want to be able to do a full bodyweight squat? Do you want to be able to do the splits? Do you want to be able to run a marathon one day? Like, what the fuck do you want to do with your body in a physical manner? And even if that is just like, I want to look, quote unquote, fit and healthy. I want to look fit. I want to look sexy or whatever. It doesn't really matter. It's what you want for you. And what I do, this is contrary to many successful sports athletes. They usually say, throw it out there for the world to see, and then then you have to do it because you've already said you're going to do it. Me personally, I don't. I say it in my head and I don't tell anyone. And what that does for me is I've not given that burden to anyone else. I've given that burden to me. And that sort of, the process of telling myself or thinking up of a goal really burns in my head and really keeps me going to then, you know, go work out again, go do a little bit more, go push a little harder, because I set that goal for me. And when it's all said and done, when I'm 80 years old, when the competition's done, when, you know, the party has arrived, or whatever the fuck you're training for and you're preparing for, or whatever, you can say you did everything you could. Yeah, granted, there's going to be things that you're not going to sacrifice. You're not going to sacrifice time at home. You're not going to sacrifice time, you know, with your loved ones and that, like, because you're not a professional athlete, and I don't think you should do that. You know, if you want to, then obviously that's up to you, but I don't think you should do that. But there is going to be times where, you know, you need to sort of keep yourself in rain check. It's going to be like, coaches and trainers are motivating people. They should, you know, give you motivation when you need it, but they should also provide some sort of inspiration. So when we're not there, you can keep going forward. And at the end of the day, sometimes you just need reminding, and sometimes you need to do it yourself. All right, this is really, really important. Like, if you always need someone there, then you have a state of dependency. You are technically a child with your health and fitness. If you create a sense of independency, especially at this time, then you can keep yourself intrinsically motivated. You can keep yourself accountable to whatever you need, and you can keep building those foundations for when you come back to the gym. You're in a much, much, much stronger position for then us coaches to build on that. Yes, if you need us, we're always going to be there. We're not going to drop you, of course. But sometimes you need to keep yourself in a rain check, and there's going to be times I need to do that. And there's going to be times I fail doing that. And that's okay, because we're human and we fuck up, we fail. Like, that's okay, guys. Don't worry about it. But that's what I like to do. I like to create the law of attraction in my own head. It's like, for those of you who don't know what the law of attraction is, basically you put out what you want to get back. It's a little bit of, it links to karma. I really want a donut, 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 and eventually it will come back. But obviously that's a bad example. Avoiding spinning your wheels, team. Avoiding spinning your wheels. Keep it fresh, mix it up. What did I do yesterday? I did a little workout. It was 3 rounds, only 3 rounds, but I went super fucking hard where my legs ended up feeling like lead, where you do 20 air squats followed by 40 meters of a car push, so 20 meters there, 20 meters back, and rest a minute, 3 rounds. Warm up, I did 5 minutes continuous car push. Cool down, I did 5 minutes continuous car push. And that was the workout. That was the main section of the workout. Yeah, granted, I did some push-ups. Granted, I did some core workout. Granted, I did some pull-ups. But that was the main section. If you can't push your car, that's absolutely fine. Like, I'm sure you can pick up some sort of, weight and go for a walk with it. You can do some sprints. You can go for a long walk. You can jog. You can do some planks. There is many, many different things that you can do. Don't spin the wheels. Don't keep it the same. Keep it fresh. Keep your mind stimulated. And then when all this shit blows over, your foundation is going to be so much larger. And when you get back to training normally, when you get back to your coach, when you get back to your class, your gym, etc., etc., you will be in a much stronger position. Much, much stronger position. And, 2, 3, 4 months after training normally again, I guarantee you, if you do all these things right now, you will be a better athlete, period. You will be a better athlete. So, team, hopefully that little bit of a ramble has helped out. How to train for nothing. If you need to, a little bit of an extrinsic motivation, throw something out there like chocolate milk. You need to work out to get chocolate milk. Simple as. Everyone likes chocolate milk. If you don't, we can't be friends. I do apologise. Intrinsic motivation. Okay, find some burning desire that inside of you that you want to prove to you. For me, I don't tell people, hence why I'm not going to tell you mine. I like to tell people when it's done. All right, and that will be my challenge for you guys that I'm going to set right now. Okay, I want you to set yourself a challenge, whether it is run a mile, whether it is do your first push-up, whether it is eat, 5 pieces of veg a day, whether it is walk 10,000 steps a day, whether it is drink 20 glasses of water a day. I don't fucking know. I don't fucking care. It doesn't matter. Okay, it doesn't matter the scale of your goal. It doesn't matter. I challenge you to set a goal in your head. Write it down if you have to, because I usually have to write it down, because of my memory. But set a goal in your head or write it down just for you, and tell people when you've done it. That's it. Don't tell them while you're doing it. Don't tell them before you do it. Don't tell them when you're nearly there. Tell them when it's done. And I guarantee you, if you do this, you will go so much further than you thought you originally could. so much further. All right, team. Hopefully you had a fucking good one. Hopefully this has helped as well. Have a great day. Message someone that you've not done in a while and just give them a smiley face. Have a sick day, team. Peace and love.